Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. I am feeling extremely happy to meet with all of you. Hare Krishna. Some devotees, their videos are off. If they switch on, then I'll be able to see them also. Hare Krishna. So last class, I think we missed. Okay, Hare Krishna. So last class, we were discussing about session 3, which was we were discussing about this body is not all in all. Everyone remember? So we just do a quick revision of last class. Anyone remembers one point? Yes. The first thing we were discussing
physical body is the hardware.
Yeah.
And body is not all in all.
Very good. Physical body is the hardware. We were discussing about these things. There are 3 levels of existence. The soul is like the user. The physical body is the hardware, and the software is the subtle body, which consists of mind, intelligence, and ego. So this is first thing we were discussing. And then what we discussed? Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah, unmute. Anyone else?
Subtle body is the
subtle body is the okay, anyone else? What else we discussed? We discussed mainly about soul. If you remember, mainly about soul. What all things we discussed about soul? Yeah, Ankit.
in terms of feeling, thinking, and belief.
Yes, very good. One clap of hand for Ankita. So we were discussing about thinking, feeling, and willing. These are the 3 symptoms of the soul. सोचने की शक्ति, महसूस करने की शक्ति, विचार करने की शक्ति, and इच्छा करने की शक्ति. Thinking, feeling, and willing. These 3 are the symptoms of the soul. The difference between a living, like this is dead. Why? It cannot think, it cannot feel, it cannot will. And I am living because the soul is there, and soul is the source of thinking, feeling, and willing. This is a very important thing. This is basically the difference between body and life. Soul and body, spirit and matter. Spirit can think, matter cannot think. Spirit can will, matter cannot will. Spirit can feel, matter cannot feel. So, we are trying to read about spirituality, right? So, first we need to have the basic definition of spirit and matter clear. So, spirit is having these 3 factors. Yes, anything else we discussed? Anyone remembers?
Soul is
okay, one by one. One girl was speaking, and then Syam Narayan. Yes, who was speaking?
Soul is owner or operator of the body.
Soul is the operator of the body. That is true. That is true. We were discussing it. Anyways, yes, Sam Narayan.
Probably our next birth, our next human body will be decided by the subtle body.
Yeah, our subtle body decides our next body, and we were discussing also about the proofs of soul's existence. Yes? Anyone remembers? We were discussing near death experience, past life memories. You remember we discussed about one story of past life memory? Anyone remembers? One story of past... T2 Singh. We discussed about the T2 Singh reincarnation. Correct. T2 Singh. And then we were discussing about the characteristics of the soul. How the soul is eternal. The soul never dies. Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. Lot of slokas. Soul cannot be cut. Soul cannot be burnt. Yeah, remember? This is what we were discussing. And in the end, we were discussing about what is the relevance of the knowledge of soul in our daily life. The one relevance, anyone remembers some examples we were discussing how the soul, knowledge of the soul is relevant? Anyone? How?
Freedom from unhealthy comparison and depression.
Yeah, how unhealthy comparison se freedom milega? How we'll get freedom? How?
By respecting every soul.
Yeah, by respecting every soul, by being, we understand on a soul level, everyone is equal, whether one is a billionaire or a beggar, right? Or whether it's a black or a white, whether it's a dog or a human, everyone is equal on the soul. We are talking about equality, and we have never achieved equality. No matter how much ever government has made, whatever we have done, till date no government has really achieved equality. Because equality on the level of body is not possible. How can man and woman be equal? How can black and white be equal? Because on a level of body, if you see them as bodies, they are different. But on the level of soul, if everyone starts living on the platform of soul, then whether it is a black or a white or a human or animal, billionaire or beggar, everyone is actually equal. There is nothing called black soul or white soul or billionaire soul or a beggar soul. Every soul is same. And if you disrespect, if a billionaire disrespects a beggar, this is what we are going to read today. Today's class will be discussing about what will happen if a billionaire disrespects, अपमान करता है एक beggar को. Next life you will become a beggar. So, does the knowledge of soul make us hard-hearted? Why Krishna is giving the knowledge of soul? Is it Krishna wants to tell that anyway body is always dead, matter is always dead, and the soul never dies? आत्मा मरता नहीं है, and शरीर हर समय मरा हुआ है. So Arjuna, kill everyone. There is no problem. So is this the reason why Krishna is telling about the knowledge of soul? Because the application of the knowledge of soul has to be done in right way. Is Krishna certifying murder by giving knowledge of soul? Because sometimes if you know that the soul is there and the body is just dead, then we can become hard-hearted. Like for example, there is a famous story, real story of a director of a very prestigious institution. In 2009, what happened is one engineering graduate, undergraduate who was studying in that institution, he got some problem, got some dizziness, and he fell down from the rickshaw. And then there was a big clot in his head. And the students of that institution had been requesting the director to change the hospital facilities, and then the director was not taking any action. And then when this happened, there was no ambulance, for him to be taken to the hospital or brought to the city. And the students became very upset. And the person, when the ambulance came, this event happened in the morning, that the person fell down, that boy fell down, and ambulance came at 4 o'clock. And this person, he passed away in the ambulance only while being taken away. So the students, they went to the director and asked the director, we need to really change the hospital facilities. And the director just casually remarked that, you know, in Bhagavad Gita it is said that the soul never dies. Don't worry. As soon as the students heard this, that soul never dies, and Bhagavad Gita says this, they became so enraged. They called 4,000, 5,000 students, all from the institute. They gherowed the bungalow of the director and destroyed the entire bungalow of the director and forced the director to take leave from the campus for 7 months. So in this way, if we do not learn how to apply the platform of soul or knowledge of soul, why Krishna is giving the knowledge of soul in Bhagavad Gita, we may create problem for ourselves, we may create problem for others. The knowledge of soul is not given to become hard-hearted, emotionless for the body. Not that the doctor should say, anyway, to the wife, anyway, the soul never dies, you know, he's there somewhere. So what is the problem? My operation was anyway a failure. What will happen to the doctor? You will get beaten up by the family members. So the knowledge of soul, Krishna is not giving to make us emotionless towards body. Rather, Krishna is giving the knowledge of soul to become more sensitive to others' body. This is how we can diametrically apply something in the most opposite way. Today we will see. Krishna is giving the knowledge of soul to make us more sensitive towards others by helping us learn, which is called the Karma Yoga. So there is knowledge and then there is technology. There is science and technology. What's the difference between science and technology? Yes, anyone? What is the difference between science and technology? There is...
Technology is the application of science.
Yeah, very good, very good, very good. So technology is the application of science. You are understanding? Application of the science. Technology is application and science is the knowledge. So there are two terms. One is called Jnana, that is called science, and another is called Vigyan, which is called technology or application of that knowledge. So knowledge of soul is Jnana and Karma Yoga is Vigyan. You're able to understand? The application of the knowledge of soul, is Karma Yoga. You're able to understand? Is everyone clear about this? The knowledge of soul is the science and knowledge of karma is the application. So Krishna gives both the science and technology so that there is no confusion how to apply the soul. Otherwise, a doctor may apply the knowledge of soul in wrong way. You are able to understand? So Karma Yoga is the technology of the science of soul. Is this clear? Now if soul exists, Krishna is telling soul exists, what are the three things? The first thing is, if soul exists, then we don't die. None of us die. Whoever all are present in the class and we will never die. Bhisma will also not die. So no one will die. And if no one dies, then we will leave. Right now I am living in this body, then I am going to live in some other body. Then the next question is, if I am going to live in some other body, what kind of body? You're able to understand? And if I am going to live in that body, who decides and on what basis my next body will be decided? Hare Krishna, please mute. Please mute, please mute. So on what basis and who decides my body? You're able to understand? Yes? Who decides my body? So this is very important for all of us to understand that if soul exists, the natural conclusion of the existence of soul is that I am responsible for my action. Okay? Please remember this statement. The natural conclusion of the knowledge of soul is I am responsible for my action. Whatever action I do, I'll be responsible for it. So that is Karma Yoga, which we are going to study elaborately today. That this life is not all in all. This life is just not everything. There is life after life. And in the next life, what body we are going to get is dependent on our actions in this life. So how we experience karma in our lives? Imagine a newborn child is born. Some newborn child, they are born, we see, with happy, loving parents. And someone is having unhappy, single mother, dull, not intelligent. Correct? Similarly, we see some people are born fair and beautiful and handsome. Some people are born dark. Some people are very handsome. Some people not so handsome. Some people are very rich. Some people are poverty stricken. Correct? So who decides all these things? And on what basis these are all decided? On what basis which family I will go in the next life is decided. We choose a job, a wife or a husband, and car or a house, but we don't choose so many things. We don't choose our beauty, we don't choose our personality. Like for example, I always say this example that I have seen my friends in the ashram. They take some 1 or 2 chapatis and little bit of rice, and their health is really good. And they're really looking very good. And no matter how many devotees have tried giving me and feeding me cashew nuts, almonds and dry fruits and dates, I have still remained like this, what I am. So, अन्न से शरीर नहीं बनता है, अन्न से शरीर की पोषण हो सकता है, पर शरीर तो हमको कर्म से मिलता है. The grains we eat may give nourishment to the body, but it does not give us the body itself. The body is given by our karma, not our arna. And that's how we see some people may eat the same food, may become sick, and some people may eat the same food, may become healthy. Because our body is a product of our karma. The karma of this life gives the karma of the next body. So today we will be seeing the mathematics behind karma. So there will be a little bit of arithmetic today. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of calculations, so all of you, if you have time and pen and paper, if you take out time, pen, paper, something, and you're really focused, then you'll understand today's class very nicely. Okay, So first we will see this concept which we had discussed a little bit in the beginning, how the death happens. So as I was telling that there is body, and body there is gross body, and then there is subtle body, and then there is soul. So these three levels of existence we were discussing last class, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and the gross body is the external body which has the organs as you see here, and then the subtle body is the mind, intelligence and ego. Yes. So now when a person dies, that means the gross body stops functioning. So when the gross body stops functioning, so the soul comes out with the subtle body, you see. The subtle body is still intact. And that is called Pretatma or ghost. Ghost means what? The definition of ghost is that subtle body is there, but gross body is not there. Mind, intelligence, ego is there, but there is no gross body. Then what happens? There is something called karma swipe. You understand the ATM card, as you swipe your ATM card. So then you have seen metal detectors, how the person goes through a metal detector in airport, ping, 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 avas, you see everything is scanned. So then the soul is scanned through something called karma swipe by Durga Devi. Durga Devi has sophisticated softwares and machines, not like our machines, but very, very sophisticated machine. The soul goes through that, and soul's entire data, all the data is stored in the subtle body. The subtle body stores all the data. Here you see, the subtle body stores actually all the data. And why it is not coming? Let me. Oh. Yeah. No, again it is not coming. The subtle body stores all the data. I don't know why it is not coming. So, and when a person goes through karma swipe, then all the data that is there, kya aapne kiya, kisko aapne mara, whom you killed, whom you spoke nice words, whom you gave charity, everything is stored here. Everything is stored here. And then he goes through that swiping machine, and then by the swiping machine, you will be either considered a citizen. If you are considered a citizen, based on what actions you have done, you will get another body. Or you may be considered a criminal, then you will be given punishment. Punishment either as ghost, you will not get a body for some millions lifetimes, or you have to go to Yamaloka for some period of time. And then when the punishment gets over, again the new body after punishment you get. So this is how the entire process of transmigration happens. So I'll repeat again. Oh, why it is coming like this? Yeah, I'll repeat again. So first the body is there, and I don't know why. It's not working. So then death, then next body comes, everything is stored in the subtle body, and then there is some karma swipe to understand what is data is stored, and then if you are a citizen, you get a next body. If you are a criminal, you get a punishment, and then again you get the next body. Is this clear to everyone? Yes? Next. Now the question is, how the data is stored in the subtle body? How the data gets stored? How the data gets analyzed? Yes? So all of you would be interested to know how my data is getting stored, who is storing the data, how it is getting. So we will do a little bit of arithmetic today to help you understand how the data is stored. But before that, we will take one verse of Bhagavad Gita, which is from the 4th chapter, which Krishna says, Karmanyo hi api bodhavyam. Anyone? One person. Bodhavyam cha vikramana akarmascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. Krishna is telling the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. They are very, very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action, forbidden action and inaction is. So Krishna, before starting the Karma Yoga, Krishna is clearly telling it is very hard to understand. It is very difficult to understand. It is not very easy. It is called Gahana, complicated. Gahana, very, very complicated. So we will give some simple examples for all of you to understand how the soul, the data is stored and what all things are stored. So, going ahead, we will first understand that the data is stored in two categories. There is a bank and we all have two accounts. Just like we have bank account, we have karma accounts. Just like the ATM card is swiped and then it gives you information. Okay, you have 2,365 rupees in your account, correct? So we all have two karma bank accounts. One is called the pious bank account. In the pious bank account, when we have pious actions, we do credit. And when we get some sorry, just one minute. Just one minute. Yeah. So when we have pious actions, it goes into credits. And when we get some good things in our life, we have comfortable home, we have a good job, we have obedient children, then these are all called debits. And then there is an impious bank account where if you do murder, if you steal, if you do deceit, if you cheat, then these are called impious actions. And then we get diseased, we get poverty, we get troubled children. These are impious reactions. So the top one is credit. We all get credit into the account. And the bottom one is debit. So there is credit and debit. And these are two independent accounts. There is no connection between our pious bank account and impious bank account. Please understand this very carefully. There is no connection between pious bank account and impious bank account. If you do good, it gets stored into your pious bank account. If you do bad, it gets stored into your impious bank account. This is the major mistake that Indians they do. What they do is that they will do a lot of sinful activities and after 1 month, they will do some very, very good activities. Thinking that sinful activity अभी क्या हुआ? Balance हो गया, plus minus कट गया. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है. This doesn't happen. If you do good, you have to enjoy the good. If you do bad, you have to suffer the bad. There is no link between good account and bad account. They are independent accounts. Is everyone clear? Please raise hand about it. This is the fundamental information we have to be clear about Karma Yoga. The fundamental information is plus minus does not cancel. Pious, impious doesn't cancel. If you murder someone and for murdering you got 2 lakh rupees. Let's say I'll give an example so that it's very clear. for taking a supari, you know, supari or something that is called. You murder someone and you got 2 lakh rupees. And with that 2 lakh rupees, you did 1 lakh charity. Thinking that now I am relieved of murdering someone. No. You will get the reaction of murder and you will also get the reaction of, good reaction of 1 lakh charity separately. Is this clear? Nothing gets cancelled in this world. So the pious and impious both together, if they get plussed, the pious and impious both together, they get added up and they form something called the sanchita karma. So this is a terminology always used in scriptures called the sanchita karma. Sanchita karma is the overall bank balance. Final 31st March जो बैंक बैलेंस फाइनल आता है ना, that of the pious bank account and the impious bank account का जो बैंक बैलेंस फाइनल फिगर is called the sanchita karma. So sanchita karma will have a figure like it will have some 30 plus 50, like this the figure will be. 30 means pious 30 credits and 50 impious, and that's how the sanchita karma will be recorded, and then your new life has to start. Is this clear? So before starting of your new life, you had 80 units of reactions, out of which 30 reactions are favorable, good, you can enjoy them, and 50 reactions are unfavorable, you have to suffer them. So like this is just an example of how sanchit karma is stored. Is this clear? So now the next is, now how the mathematics work. So the sanchit karma is again divided. Now this is beginning of life. So when the life begins, so sanchit karma is divided into 2 parts. Prarabdha, aprarabdha. Prarabdha means what? Let's say sanchit karma is 100 units. Prarabdha means what you are going to experience in this life. In this life, we all have some disease. In this life, we all got some property, some lottery, some intelligence. These are all prarabdha. Prarabdha matlab in this life जो हम experience कर रहे हैं. Is this clear? In this life we are scientists, in this life we are a businessman, in this life we have got a wife who is troubling us, in this life we have got children who are very notorious, in this life we have got children who are so obedient. These are all prarabdha, and it's a mixture. There are some good, there is some bad. Just like I have put 60 units, there will be some pious units, there will be some impious units. And then there is aprarabdha. Aprarabdha means which you will experience in future lives. This is future. This is current. So Durga Devi, what she does with all her associates and in charges, she divides our sanchit karma into 2 parts, and one part is for this life and the remaining is for the future life. Okay, we will see in the end why this division is required. Why 100 में क्यों पूरा 100? The question come ना naturally. पूरा 100 अगर मेरा संचित कर्मा है तो I should experience the entire 100, correct? Why I should only experience 60? No, why aprarabdha में कुछ डाला जाता है? This we will see in the end of today's seminar. This is a natural question I know which will come कि प्रारब्ध अप्रारब्ध का डिवीजन क्यों नेसेसरी है, क्यों ना 100 पूरा संचित कर्मा मैं इसी जीवन में भोग सकता हूं, क्या प्रॉब्लम है वो हम लास्ट में देखेंगे. Now aprarabdha is our future karma, but aprarabdha also creates something called khujli or proclivity. Proclivity means if our future karma, which we are going to suffer, experience in the future lives, are very, very bad, our current life propensities will also be very bad. You have seen some people, they are very good, but they have wrong propensities. They are very good, they are educated and all, but their inside heart they are very envious. They will like to trouble others. They will have, and they are born with very nice intelligence, everything, but they will be insecure. They will be feeling depressed. That means they have a lot of aprarabdha, which is very, very impious in nature. And those aprarabdha creates inclinations. Here it is written. Inclinations means our propensities, our proclivities, or something called khujli. Even if someone is a very, very big billionaire, sometimes he has khujli to cheat people, to trouble others. You have seen some people who are very wealthy, still they are so ridiculous, they are so wealthy, they will be cheating others. Arey, you are already so wealthy, why you are cheating others? No, this cheating other is a propensity which is coming from his aprarabdha. His aprarabdha is very impious, that is why he wants to cheat. So, aprarabdha decides our inclinations, prarabdha decides our experience. Is this clear? Is there any doubt here? Then we will go ahead. Otherwise, if there is doubt here, then we will not be able to understand further mathematics. The first step, this is the first slide, we should be very clear. Yeah. Any doubt? You can ask me.
Just one doubt that regarding prarabdha. Prarabdha is all what I learned from various books also, that it is coming from our early birth. It means right from the beginning of that particular.
Correct. So prarabdha is also a part of this 100, na? Prarabdha is also prarabdha is also a part of the 100, na? So it is also coming from previous life only.
Okay. Then that means that what we are going to right now we are experiencing is also a part of prarabdha.
No. What we are experiencing is defined as prarabdha.
Okay.
What you are experiencing now is defined as prarabdha. Like for example, you have 2 daughters and son, this is your prarabdha. What you are currently experiencing now is prarabdha. But in aprarabdha, in next life or next future lives, you are supposed to be a Prime Minister of India. But that is in store. This life you will not become Prime Minister. So it is in your...
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
Okay, is it possible to rectify our prarabdha?
Oh, it is possible to rectify our prarabdha, aprarabdha, everything, but we will discuss that next class. First, let's understand what is prarabdha and what is aprarabdha. How to rectify is our next class, next session. Okay? Okay. Till now, whatever we have discussed, any question, anyone else? I think there is one question in the group.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm Kadrima. Prabhuji, this aprarabdha, you are telling that it is for future. That in the present life we will have certain inclinations. Right?
Yes.
Is this aprarabdha combination? It's like it is mentioned. It's a combination of both pious and impious. But at the same time, you are telling that we will have certain impact on the prarabdha also, right, in the present. So is it always that it will have a bad effect? Or
No. Imagine in this 40 units which I have shown aprarabdha, in this there is 35 pious plus 5 impious. This is pious plus impious, correct? You see it is written here. So that means 35 is greater than 5. So mostly the person will have pious inclination. He will be giving charity. He would like to attend Bhagavad Gita classes. He will go to temple. So he will have pious inclinations.
Okay.
You are understanding?
Now, yes, understood. now in Prarabdha, like it is also a combination of pious and impious. Now whatever I will be doing my deeds in my present life, that also will contribute in future in the Aparabdha.
That will get added here. That will not get added here. ये तो आपको, if this is fixed for this life.
Yes.
And this,
so whatever that will be doing the karma in this life, that will get added in the Aparabdha.
Perfect. That's what we are going to see next slide. Is this slide okay, everyone? Prarabdha means what you will experience. Aprarabdha means your inclinations in this life and what you will experience in future life.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. If Aprarabdha is very impious, why is he born in a good family with good intelligence? Because his Prarabdha is pious. Aprarabdha is 40 units. Like I'll give another example. Who is asking this? Biswayan Sarkar. So try to see this understanding. So you are telling that his Aprarabdha is very, very bad. Matlab, that means out of this 40 units, 39 is impious and only 1 is pious. Let us say this person is having this. But imagine in his Prarabdha is 60, out of which 59 is pious and only 1 is impious. ऐसा हो सकता है? Correct? Then what will happen to this person? Can anyone say what will be the personality type of this person? Can anyone guess?
Just like he'll enjoy good things, but his inclination will be towards like bad inclination he'll have.
So how can anyone explain this combination? 59 plus 1, pious 59, impious 1. And pious 1, impious 39. In this combination, how the personality will be? Can anyone guess? Okay, Sam Narayan is telling the correct, but exactly how the personality will be? Yes. Guess.
The person will have an inclination of doing bad deeds in his current life, which will actually have a more impious units being accumulated.
Perfect. Yeah, so the person will be basically a billionaire and he will use all his billions in troubling others. You have seen people like that? And especially people have problems when you see of karma that God, Bhagwan exist करते हैं क्या? इतना पैसा है, इतना उसका प्रगति हो रहा है, he is getting promotion after promotion and he is troubling others, Prabhuji. So this is how his life would be. So we will go ahead in taking more case studies so that you become more clear about it. First case study is one person who is mostly pious. Let's say his life starts with Sanchit 100. In 100 there is 85. Green means pious, red means impious. Okay. So 85 he has pious credits and 15 he has impious credits. And Prarabdha is 60 and Aprarabdha is 40. In Prarabdha he has 50 pious, 10 impious, and Aprarabdha is 35 pious and 5 impious. You are able to understand how it gets divided? Please see this. Please take out your pen paper, otherwise you will not understand karma yoga. Karma. If you take out pen paper and understand, you will be very clear about how the karma works. So there is 50 units. You see this is 85. This 50 plus 35 is 85. You are able to understand? So the 85 gets divided into 50 in this life, 35 in other life. And the 15 gets divided into 10 in this life, 5 in other life. Everyone is clear now? So now let us see what happens. Now this person is going to start his life. So now because 35 is greater than 5, the inclinations of this person will be very good. He would like to go to temple, he would like to give some charity, he will abstain from destructive habits and bad habits, because his aprarabdha pious units are greater than impious units. You are able to understand?
Yes.
35.
So how this marking is done?
Which marking?
This 50, 35.
Oh, that is in the end we will discuss how these divisions markings are done and why these divisions and markings are required. One may say ना, ओ दुर्गा देवी मेरे को पूरा 100 यूनिट इसी जीवन में दे दो, फिर नेक्स्ट जीवन में 0 से ही चालू करूंगा. सबसे अच्छा है ना, कैलकुलेशन तो बहुत सिंपल हो जाएगा. इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्यों किया है दुर्गा देवी ने? दुर्गा देवी ने कॉम्प्लिकेट नहीं किया, हमने कॉम्प्लिकेट किया. हम पढ़ेंगे एंड में कि कैसे हमने कॉम्प्लिकेट किया है. दुर्गा देवी का कुछ दोष नहीं है, वो तो चाहते ही है आपका अगर संचित कर्मा 100 है, आप इसी जीवन में अगर पूरा 100 आपका हो गया तो बहुत अच्छा, सबका नेक्स्ट जीवन 0 से चालू होगा, फिर से कुछ जो करो, बहुत आसान हो जाएगा ना कैलकुलेशन. और मेरे को समझाना भी आपको आसान हो जाएगा. I'll be also able to explain you easily. But this doesn't happen. So now this person has pious in, sorry, yeah.
ये प्रारब्ध और अप्रारब्ध किस बेसिस पे डिवाइड होते हैं?
हाँ, वही तो हम डिस्कस करेंगे एंड में. अभी आप अज्यूम कर लीजिए डिवाइड हो गया, दुर्गा देवी ने डिवाइड कर दिया. क्यों किया दुर्गा देवी हैज डिवाइडेड लाइक दिस? Durga Devi is the person who divides all these things. She is in charge of all these mathematical calculations. Okay. So she does all these calculations. She has softwares and all whatever. She does all this calculation. Now why? We will discuss in the end. Now this person is beginning his life, you see. So now his Sanchit balance is 100. Because of his, he has 50 plus 10 to experience. So first he experienced 10. So his Sanchit balance became reduced to 70. Okay. He experienced, out of 50, he experienced 30 in the 15th year, by the 15th year. Then by 22nd year, he did some credit. उसको जॉब लग गया, मे बी 22 साल में जॉब लग गया. और क्योंकि उसकी इंक्लिनेशंस पायस है तो वो कुछ अच्छा काम किया. He did some good work. He started doing some charity. Job लखा है, पैसा मिला है, तो he started doing some charity. So again his Sanchit balance became 100. And then again he got some 20 units, 30 units हो गया 50 से, करेक्ट. बचा है कितना? 50 माइनस 30, 20. तो 20 उसको मिल गया फिर से 30th उम्र तक. फिर देन हुए 10 भी मिल गया उसको 40 साल में जो मिलना था. अभी उसका क्लियर हो गया, इस जीवन में जो मिलना था मिल गया. फिर लास्ट में 45 साल में वो गुजर गया और लास्ट में गुजरते गुजरते थोड़ा गंदा काम भी करके गया. तो टोटल उसका 72 हो गया संचित बैलेंस. यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड? नाउ दिस 72 हैज अ डिवीजन, पायस प्लस इनपायस. एनीवन कैन से क्या डिवीजन होगा 72 का, पायस प्लस इनपायस? देखते हैं आपको मैथमेटिक्स थोड़ा सा आता है कि नहीं. सिंपल, दिस इज सिंपल. 72 का क्या डिवीजन होगा?
35 plus 30 is 65.
हाँ, 65. वेरी गुड.
And impact will be, I think, 7.
Very good. So this 35 prarabdha will get added to 30 and this 5 will get added here. So then 65 plus 7 will be here. Is this clear, everyone? So this section, the debit section, will come from here, prarabdha. And whatever is credit will get added to the aprarabdha. Very simple. Okay, next slide. This is 65 plus 7. Bad karma, good karma don't cancel each other. This is a very important conclusion we have to understand. Bad karma, good karma do not cancel. He did bad karma, it got added. He did good karma, it got added. He enjoyed good karma, it got debited. It is two independent bank accounts. Yeah, bolo.
As we see the देवी बताते हैं कि ऐसा ऐसा कुछ खराब अगर होने वाला होता है तो आप
तो they basically guess your prarabdha. They basically tell your prarabdha, because imagine you saw your astrologer 15th उम्र में, तो वो बताएगा कि आपका 30 साल में बहुत उन्नति होने वाला है. You are able to understand? आपका 30 साल में कुछ लॉटरी लगने वाला है, प्रमोशन होने वाला है, बहुत पैसा मिलने वाला है, वो बोलेगा. पर ना 40 साल में ना आपको बहुत दुख मिलेगा, आपका पिताजी गुजर जाएंगे, आपके बेटा भी आपको बहुत परेशान करेगा जब 40 साल में, तो ऐसा होगा. सो दे टेल एंटायर दिस सेक्शन. एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स कैन ओनली टेल दिस सेक्शन.
तो अगर कैंसिल नहीं हो सकते हैं बैड और गुड करना, तो फिर हमारे अच्छे कर्म से बैड, क्योंकि हमें तो जो भी बैड कर्म का रिएक्शन है वो मिलता ही है, तो फिर गुड कर्म से वो, मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि कैंसिल नहीं हो सकता, फिर उन लोग क्यों बोलते हैं कि आप ये करो.
Yeah, correct. So why the astrologers tell like this? That is our next session. Okay. So now it's a very good question by Ankita. She is asking what? If anyway good karma, bad karma doesn't get cancelled, then why astrologers say तुम अगर ये कर लो, तुम वो कर लो, ऐसे कर लो, ठीक हो जाएगा, कुछ हो जाएगा. क्या एस्ट्रोलॉजर्स करते हैं और क्या हमारा हो सकता है, वो नेक्स्ट क्लास डिस्कस करेंगे. ओके, इज दिस क्लियर? बट एज ऑफ नाउ बैड कर्मा गुड कर्मा कैंसल नहीं होता है. ओके
Guruji, I think astrologists said that thing about when they are talking about Graha Nakshatra.
So Graha Nakshatra is decided by your prarabdha. Your prarabdha decides your Graha Nakshatra.
If someone is going to get murdered, and if someone is going to get murder someone, then I don't think so that astrologist will say that you will do this thing, you will get repentance from that particular.
So वही है. So astrologer cannot do that, but astrologers can also do certain things and we can also change certain things. ऐसा नहीं कि हम कुछ भी बदल नहीं सकते हैं. This is not like extremist. हम कुछ बदल नहीं सकते हैं और कुछ भी नहीं बदल सकते हैं. हम बहुत कुछ बदल सकते हैं, बहुत कुछ नहीं बदल सकते हैं. क्या बदल सकते हैं, क्या बदल नहीं सकते हैं, नेक्स्ट क्लास देखेंगे. ओके, लेट्स कीप दिस क्वेश्चन फॉर नेक्स्ट क्लास. Otherwise this class we want to cover something else. Okay.
Guruji, one question.
Yeah.
We saw like people are doing something bad, and immediately after few months or 3 months, same thing happened with them. So, but they are doing the same life, but it's happening with them.
No, that is just a coincidence. That doesn't happen. In mostly our prarabdha gets fixed in this life. That is just a coincidence that it happens. It's not like that. Imagine like one. I had gone to one. I'll tell you. You are able to understand Rituraj's question. We see he is asking what? Ki some people do something wrong and immediately they get some reaction. So that means their prarabdha and aprarabdha and what is not, nothing is matching. It's not like that. If he is going to get arrested, it is there in his prarabdha. He will get arrested. It is there in his prarabdha that he will commit this mistake. It is there in his prarabdha that he will get arrested also. You are able to understand?
It can be the effect of inclination also, right?
It can be effect of inclination. It can be there in the prarabdha also that he will do this wrong thing. Both. We don't know. But if he is getting arrested, it is there in his prarabdha. It is not a part of the actions in this life we do. We do not receive the reactions in this life. And that's how so many people, like one person, I was telling an example, I had gone to attend a shraddha of someone's wife. Okay. So now when I did shraddha, I gave a class, I did kirtan for the lady who had passed away. The husband was very emotional. I asked what happened. The husband said, I don't know, my wife got liver cirrhosis. You understand what is liver cirrhosis? You know this disease?
Yes.
Those who drink a lot, they get liver cirrhosis. and my wife never took alcohol in her entire life, and the doctors are amazed how she got liver cirrhosis. And the doctors are telling her liver is showing symptoms as if she has taken so much of alcohol without taking alcohol. That's what the doctor said to the husband. Please keep muted. That's what the doctor said to the husband. And the husband started asking how it is possible. I said, yes, if in previous life he has done something and he has not received that karma, then in this life, even if he has not taken alcohol, he has to receive the karma. So that's how karma is very, very complicated. When you will receive what you will receive, mostly we are 99.99% we receive our prarabdha. There are certain changes and exceptions which we will discuss next class. Okay, but जो इस जीवन में हमको प्रारब्ध में है वही जीवन में हम experience करते हैं. Now, a reference to good karma and bad karma, how they don't cancel each other. One king. Yeah.
So the question is, can our actions change our prarabdha? Like we have choices, right? Like
our actions.
Good or bad, right?
Our.
If we choose, then it will impact our prarabdha or not?
So our karmic actions, whatever karmic actions we do, cannot change our prarabdha. Our karmic actions has no power to change our prarabdha. Prarabdha is fixed. But there are ways to get rid of our prarabdha. That we will discuss next class. Okay. But karmic actions cannot change your prarabdha. Let us say your prarabdha is, I'll give some example. Let's say your prarabdha, a person's prarabdha is that he is going to suffer financial loss. So that means his prarabdha is of he has done some impious activity, that's why he is going to suffer financially. Now, what he does is, before that, he gives some charity to someone. But still he has to suffer financially. So our karmic actions in this life cannot change our prarabdha. It is going to be fixed. We are going to experience it no matter whatever we do. But there are ways to change our prarabdha. We will see next class. Okay? Is this clear, this question?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Okay. Lot of questions.
Is all of our prarabdha dependent on our prarabdha from previous life?
No. So our prarabdha gets divided. I think if you go to the previous slide.
No, but you gave an example that a person is born very rich and wealthy, but he has bad inclinations.
Correct.
So how is he born rich and wealthy if he has bad prarabdha?
So that's what na. So that's what. So if he has born, so this 100 units of sanchit, how it gets divided is what the difference happens. If the 100 units let's say has here it is 85 plus 15, right? Huh?
Yes.
So in this 85 plus 15, imagine all the 15 goes to that side and one person gets 85 plus 15, prarabdha and aprarabdha. In this prarabdha, he has all good, no impious. And in the next life, he has all bad. Then what will happen to that person? You are able to understand? हो सकता है ना ऐसे? समझ में आ रहा है?
Prabhuji, my question is, if his aprarabdha in this life is bigger than the prarabdha, then how can he be born as a wealthy, rich?
No, it's not about bigger or lesser. It is about how much you are going to experience in this life. It's not about bigger or greater or smaller. How much you are going to experience bad and how much you are going to experience good in previous lives, next in this life and in your future life. That's it. If someone is, can you give an example in numbers so that it is very clear? We'll write here. I'll write here. Let us say one person, person 1, okay? And you describe the person.
So he has accumulated, if he has accumulated 10 prarabdha.
Okay, 10
and
prarabdha.
He has accumulated 90 of prarabdha.
Okay.
So how will his next birth will be?
So depends on 90 अप्रारब्ध का division क्या है, इसका भी तो division चाहिए ना.
It will be mostly towards empire.
Okay, so let's say it is 85 plus 5. Okay, and then out of this 10, it is almost about 9 plus 1. Okay, let us say like make it like this. Okay. So he will have lot of good things in this life, and he will have little bit bad thing, but his inclinations will be very bad because of this 85. It is about what is greater. 9 is greater than 1, 85 is greater than 5. So he will have impious inclinations, he will have pious inclinations, and he will also have pious, oh sorry, this you wanted ulta, na? 5 plus 85. 5 plus 85. So he will have impious inclinations and he will have lot of fortune in his life. It's not about the number amount. Don't get confused by the number amount. Like this 9, let's say 9 can be like this. He will be PM. The first point out of the 9 is he will be PM of India. हो गया, उसमें तो बहुत सारा included हो गया. The second one, he will maintain his term for 3 or 5 consecutive terms. उसमें और भी included हो गया. समझ में आ रहा है ना? So don't consider this 9 as, oh ये तो 9 है. वो उस तरह का नहीं होता है. It is statements. You are able to understand? जैसे astrology statement बोलता है ना? It's a statement, and that statement can have lot of implications. You are able to understand? आपको क्या लगा 9 मतलब 9 किलो? ऐसे नहीं, 9 किलो अच्छा, ऐसे नहीं है. वो 9 मतलब there are 9 points, these pointers. So he will be PM, or he will be the controller of 50,000 people. He will have money which is beyond the imagination, wildest imagination of people. So like that there will be statements. 9 good statements he will be given. ये आपका होगा. ऐसा है. समझ में आ रहा है?
Okay, thank you.
So like that. So now there is a reference here given about how, from where we can learn that good karma, bad karma does not cancel. These are two things coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is one king who became a lizard, who had done lot of pious activities, lot of charity and everything he did, but he did one mistake while giving charity to a Brahmana. So he went to Yamaraj, and Yamaraj is asking, O Lord of the Lords, O Master of Universe, the agents of Yamaraj, taking advantage of the opportunity, carried me to his abode. So he had become a lizard, and Krishna delivered that lizard. It comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. And then the king is telling to Krishna about how he became a lizard. The king is telling, Yamaraj said to the king, my dear king, do you wish to experience the results of your sins first, or the results of your piety? Indeed, I see no end to your charity and your enjoyment in heavenly planets. So the Yamaraj is telling to him, you want to experience your sin first, or you want to experience your piety first? That means there is 2 distinct bank accounts. आपको कौन सा बैंक अकाउंट पहला एक्सपीरियंस करना है, इतना चॉइस आपको मिल जाएगा. But not much choice is given for everyone because he was a great king. That's why some choice was given. He was maybe a class prisoner, but not mostly choice are given. So this is good karma and bad karma. do not cancel. We should not foolishly think that if I do some charity, if I do something, I will get rid of all the negative things I have got in life. ये कभी नहीं होता है. And then another case we will see, same case but ulta. You see now, here 50 is greater than 10, 35 is greater than 5. So this person will have impious inclinations. He will be cheating people, he will have some bad habits, he will envious and hurt others and trouble others. So this will happen, and we will just go scroll through very fast this person's life. So he got some distress, he did some impious activities because his inclinations are impious, and then it got added up, and finally he got 105. Can anyone say 105 का division क्या होगा? तो 105 will be?
It will be 15 pious and...
yeah, 15 pious because 5 plus 10 pious, 15 pious plus...
and 90 will be, 95 will be...
90
Sorry, 90 will be
impious. Yeah, correct. So 35 plus 55 will be impious. And this he experienced from here, prarabdha. 50 plus 10 he experienced, 30 plus 20, 50, and 10 he experienced everything. Is this clear? So this is an example of how it works. Now one may ask the question, next question is, why bad things are happening to good people? Now when bad things happen to good people, this is the combination. You see the combination I have kept. Let us say a person has 85 units of good things and 55 units of bad things, in which it gets divided like this. His prarabdha is mostly impious, matlab he will go to suffer, and his aprarabdha is mostly pious. Then what will happen? Can anyone say?
He will have an inclination of getting good deeds in his current
Yes,
life.
correct. So he will have lot of pious inclinations. He will go to temple, he will go to charity, he will abstain from bad habits, he will have pious inclinations. But current life will be very miserable, correct?
Yes.
He will have financial loss, he will have betrayals, he will have failures, everything. And then person sees his life, will think, अरे कितना अच्छा व्यक्ति है, दान देता है, धर्म करता है, सब कुछ करता है, इतना उसका परेशान क्यों है इसका जीवन, correct? So that is how the bad things happen to good people. Bad things are not happening to good people. His prarabdha is bad, aprarabdha is good. That's it. Is this clear?
Is it like, Prabhuji, is it like that, like you mentioned, that when we go to Yamraj, then he can ask that whether you want the bad karma first or the result of the good karma. So is it like that the person has asked to experience the effect of bad karma, that is why his prarabdha is having more impious points so that he can
Okay. No. Actually, it's very very rare case that Yamraj से आप मिलेंगे. If you are a prisoner, it's a very very rare case. It's a rare cosmic happening. This king Nriga was a king of entire Bharatavarsha. He was a very big person, and that's how he met Yamraj. Not everyone, because Yamraj was concerned, ये कैसे आ गया मेरे kingdom में? And then Yamraj wanted to check the records. मेरा जो पार्षद है, my Yamadutas have not made any mistake, na? Otherwise, if they make mistake, Yamraj will be also punished. You are understanding? That's how Yamraj went into a discussion with the king. I am shocked how you came here. And then when he analyzed, Yamraj found out, okay, he has done something very wrong. He has to be punished. And then Yamraj said, okay, anyway, you tell what you want to experience, because he's a big man. Okay, so like that. All of us will not go and meet. We are not that big. We can become big, but generally these are very rare cases. Okay. Huh?
Just one question. According to you, that means what will be the beneficial for human being? That means is piousness for prarabdha or piousness for aprarabdha?
Oh, what is beneficial? Anyway, you have to experience everything. I would suggest let us experience everything this life only and complete everything and let us know what is there. That is best, right? So, but that will not happen. This is what we are going to discuss now. Why there is a difference between prarabdha and aprarabdha? Kyun? Why can't everything, that 100 units of sanchit, why it cannot become directly prarabdha? Why aprarabdha is required at all? अप्रारब्ध मान लीजिए हट जाएगा सिस्टम से, life will be so simple, even for Durga Devi. So why it is there, we will now discuss for 5 minutes. You see, every action has a time limit when it will tell, when it will give fruit. I'll give some practical example. Mute. So I'll give some practical example. Imagine you ate some junk food which has some wrong things. Will you get immediately reaction? No, na? After eating in 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, your stomach will make some sound good, and then it will start happening. Imagine you were a student who is doing in mobile and spending his time in mobile. Will the effect of his overindulgence in mobile will be seen in 1 day? No, it will be seen in 1 year. This effect will be seen in 3 hours. And if someone murders in India, the delay and the delay in judicial proceedings, it may some 5 years. So even in this life, we see that not that every action immediately gives some reaction. So every action has a different fructification time. So now why every action has a different fructification time is we will discuss with this example. We'll discuss this example and then we will discuss elaborately. King Dhritarashtra, you all know Dhritarashtra, right? We are reading Bhagavad Gita. So after Mahabharata war got over, Dhritarashtra asked Krishna, "Oh Krishna, why my 100 sons got killed? What wrong things I did?" And Dhritarashtra was, that time people used to be so powerful, Dhritarashtra told Krishna that for 4 lives, I am able to see my 4 lives. He was so great that he was able to see his previous 4 lives. He said that I am able to see that in my last 4 lives I have not done any wrong things. Then why my 100 sons got killed? So Krishna said, 50 lives before, you were a king and same Gandhari was your wife. Your wife was the queen. And both of us killed 100 sparrows. And because you killed 100 sparrows, those who were children, small sparrows, in the nest, they were there, different nests were there, and you killed them, your 100 sons got killed. So the next question Dhritarashtra asked, ki if I killed 50 lives before, why I am experiencing 50 lives after? Correct? So Krishna said, you took 50 lives to get the pious credit for getting 100 sons. Because to get children is also a pious credit. आपको 100 पुत्र होने का जो पायस क्रेडिट है, उसको बटोरने के लिए 50 जीवन लग गए. And after you got that pious credit, of getting 100 sons, then you got qualified to experience the impious credit of getting killed of your 100 sons. You are understanding how they are related? आपका अगर 100 पुत्र मरेंगे, पहले तो आपको 100 पुत्र होना चाहिए ना. आपके पुत्र ही नहीं है तो कौन मरेगा? तो पुत्र होने के लिए आपको पहले अच्छा काम करना पड़ेगा, और वो अच्छा काम के लिए कुछ दिन लगेगा. And that's how the prarabdha and aprarabdha concept comes, because if we have 100 units of thing and in which 60 is 60 can be experienced in this life and 40 is the aprarabdha which requires certain conditions, because certain conditions are required so that they are stored in the car park in future life. In this 40 can be, you have to, you will, let us say, you will, create smartphone. Let's say you will be the engineer for creating a smartphone. But you cannot experience this prarabdha in 19th century when silicon was only not invented, because another person is supposed to invent silicon, semiconductor. You are able to understand? Sorry, I gave a technical example. Let us say another example I'll give. I'll give example of, you will create polio vaccine. Okay, let us say ये आपका good credit है, you will create polio vaccine and you will eradicate polio from the world. So you will be the person. ये आपका pious credit है. In 17th century, let us say polio is only not there. So can you experience this pious credit? So first, in 18th century, the polio has to come, and in 19th century, the polio has to really spread, and then in 20th century, you will be born to create a vaccine for polio and become famous. In this way, the things are very, very connected. You are able to understand with this example? And that is how in 17th century, when he would be born, this person who will create the polio vaccine, this will get into his aprarabdha, because the conditions are not conducive now. And in 20th century, when he will born, then when the conditions are conducive, he will experience that in this prarabdha. You are able to understand now? So conditions are also required. Conducive conditions are required for us to experience our prarabdha. If they are not there, then let us say someone, you will find your wife in dating app. Now 50 years before there was no app, no dating app. So then that thing you have to experience only when the dating apps are invented. So in this way, many of the conditions are required for experiencing these things. Okay? I hope now things are clear. Anyone has any question can ask now.
Guruji, one more question. Is birds or animal having the same ability to do the wrong deeds? If so, then why they are in that kind of body?
Okay, birds and animals are in that kind of body because previously they did some sinful things. But karma, next class will discuss this. Karma is only for human beings. Only human beings can do credit debit business. The human beings can credit their karma. All other species whatever species you are seeing in this world, they can only do debit. There is no credit in that. You are able to understand? Only human beings can do credit, and credit plus debit also. Human beings का भी debit होता है, but only human beings can do credit. इनमें केवल debit होता है, बाकी जितने सारे species हैं, and that's why human beings are special. Sorry, what I am.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
If a person is experiencing some disease,
Hmm.
and sometimes what happens in his family, other people are also experiencing similar kind of disease. Why is it genetic disease? Why do every person in that family tree experiences it?
Yeah. So, let's say I have something like I have to experience of the pain of diabetes. So if I have to experience the pain of diabetes, I go to a family which has a genealogy of diabetes. Like that it is. I am born in that family. So if someone is born in that family which has genealogy of diabetes, mostly he is going to, he has the prarabdha of getting suffering from diabetes. So before birth only it is decided which family he will go. So if I am supposed to suffer from diabetes, I will take birth in the family of diabetes. Now in the family of diabetes, it may so happen that someone may not have diabetes. That means though he is born in the family of diabetes, his prarabdha doesn't have that to suffer from diabetes. So beginning of the birth only it is decided कि किस परिवार में वो जाएगा, कौन से परिवार में जाएगा, एंड उस परिवार का जितना सारा जीन का है कितना वो लेगा और कितना नहीं लेगा. Everything is decided. It's like fully mapped. Everything is mapped. Okay.
Prabhuji, after death, is it like real that a person can rebirth in his own family?
Yeah, so much reverse have happened. So much. I can show you documentary videos. Professor Ian Stevenson, which I was mentioning. I will send in. You are in the WhatsApp group which they have created, which Vikram has created. I will send a video. Vikram, please make me remind me to send the video. I will send a video where a son is born in the same family, and the son is actually the grandfather. And later on, the son, at the age of 5, is telling to his father about grandfather's sister. How the grandfather's sister had difficulties in marriage. Grandfather's sister has dead and gone. Grandfather is gone. And father is shocked. Arey baap re, kaise isko sab pata hai information? So this is possible. There is a video in that. I will. This is from the documentary of Professor Ian Stevenson. He has documented a lot of past life memories. It's possible. Not a thing. Yeah. Anyone else?
Guruji, there is a saying like children has to face the karmic actions of their parents. So is it correct?
No. That is not correct. Children doesn't have to face the karmic reactions of their parents. Rather, if children are supposed to suffer some X amount of reaction, they are born in a particular family where there are particular parents. So don't give blame to the parents. The individual has to make himself responsible. If I am facing something from my parent, I have that karma to be born as his son to suffer it. Like that. So it's not like this that मेरा parents ने मेरे को इतना परेशान किया. नहीं, तुम उस parents के साथ क्यों पैदा हुआ? You did something, that's why you are born as son of this person. Like my father says, why you left? Such a nice son I got. Just imagine my father's case study. If you study the case study of my father, you cannot imagine how much happiness I have given to my father and mother. You cannot imagine. So much of TV reporters coming and so much of happiness, so much of success, so much of success, so much of success, and then gone. He's gone and become a sannyasi. So I said to my father, yes, you have done lot of good things. That's why you got a son like this. And you would have also troubled someone else's son. That is why you lost your son and he became a sannyasi. But because you are a devotee of Jagannath, my father is a devotee of Jagannath, instead of having a son who will die and you will have to suffer the pain, he became a sannyasi, which is also death. Sannyas means death. But someone becoming a sannyasi can give you lot of credits. So this we will discuss in the next class, how when God comes in the picture of our karma, how every calculation becomes here and there. So when we bring God in our karma, all calculations become here and there. Prarabdha, aprarabdha, everything go here and there. This is what we are going to discuss next class. So it's not that you parents are giving us or we are giving the parents. It is they are supposed to receive it. We are instruments. Yes? Okay. So
does the Atma take body immediately or it gets into another body immediately? How long does it take?
Okay, so
sometimes people say that after that we have experienced that person's presence in the house. Why does it happen?
So for generally the Atma is not interested to get out of the family in which he was staying. And that is how for 13 days there is something called the ceremony. You all know the ceremony, Dasaha and everything.
Yes.
So on the 13th day there is a ceremony that is done. I have done it for my mother when my mother passed away in 2013. Please hear it very attentively. You will really be amazed by this finding. So on the first day when the person is dead, there is a diya or a light or a lamp which is burnt in the home, and then the soul resides in the fire of this lamp. And then this lamp is made to cover with an earthen pot. And through chanting of, because if the soul is, if the fire is covered with an earthen pot, ऐसे मान लीजिए एक दीप जल रहा है, उसके ऊपर एक अगर earthen pot लगा देंगे तो क्या होगा, दीप बुझ जाएगा ना, ऑक्सीजन बंद हो जाएगा कुछ समय के बाद. So then the mantras are chanted for the soul to leave the fire and enter the pot. And then there are mantras. It is written in the Vedic scriptures, there are mantras how to take out the soul from the fire to the earthen pot. And then on actually the lamp is kept in a plate filled with sand. There is a plate of sand on which the lamp is kept. And when this earthen pot is covered, then the sand gets imprints. The sand gets imprints. The sand gets some imprints by which we can understand what kind of body the soul is going to take in next life. And for my mother, we saw that there were imprints of a beautiful girl's feet. Charan ka imprints tha meri mummy ke liye. So if someone gets a imprints of a beautiful girl or lady, then he or she has gone to higher planetary systems, upper planetary systems to enjoy very nicely his life. So my mother had got these imprints. And then with the mantra, you take the soul out and then you go and then go outside of the house, then they draw a boundary like this and keep the pot this side. And then they chant mantras. Basically, the meaning of the mantra is, now you go to your next destination. You will be considered as our ancestors. And if you are not invited, don't come to this house. This is the mantra that is chanted. And then in the 13th day, finally the soul leaves. Now after 13th day, when the soul leaves, now it is up to his karma. If the soul has karma to immediately get a body, immediately he gets a body. If the soul has a karma that he has to go to Yamaloka, he goes to Yamaloka. If the soul has a karma to go to Swargaloka, the soul goes to Swargaloka. But the soul stays till all these procedures are over. And that is why these procedures are very, very important. Nowadays, people are not doing these procedures and many are becoming ghosts. And then they come and tell to me, ki Prabhuji, my mother is coming in my dream, my father is coming in my dream. They will come in your dream, now they are troubled because you are not doing properly Shraddha. And the pujaris are also coming and doing ghanti, and they are not doing properly the Shraddha Kriya. They are supposed to do the Shraddha properly. Nowadays, the pujaris are also having packages. 10 रुपए में श्राद्ध करना है, 1000 रुपए में करना है, 2000 रुपए में करना है. किसी को श्राद्ध से पता नहीं है. No one wants to do Shraddha. Neither the person जिसका पिताजी गुजरा है, he is interested कि किसी, हाँ ठीक है 2 घंटा में हो जाना चाहिए, 2 घंटा में खत्म करो. 2 घंटा का 5000 लगेगा साहब, ठीक है. वो 5000 में 2 घंटा में क्या करता है भगवान जाने. And if you do like this Shraddha, then what will happen? The soul is, bichara, who is suffering? The soul. So then the soul is dragged out from the house. If you don't do Shraddha, then the people will come, Durga Devi will send people, अरे कहाँ भटक रहा है वो, उसको लेके आओ खींच के, and then उसको खींच के लेके जाते हैं. It's very, very painful. This Shraddha ceremony is respectfully, दंडवत करके, प्रेम से, प्रसाद खिला के, भगवान विष्णु प्रसाद खिला के, सोल को बोलना कि आप जाइए अभी नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन. अब वो नहीं करेंगे तो soul will stay in that house, and then he will be dragged out by either the Yamadutas or the Durga's associates. So that's why it's.
If Shraddha is done properly, and even after 13 days, if someone experiences the presence of that soul in the house, not in negative way, but in a positive way also. So क्या कुछ त्रुटि हो गई होगी श्राद्ध में?
Definitely. The Shraddha has a particular procedure, has to be done in a particular way, and at least मेरे जीवन में तो ऐसे नहीं हुआ. I saw practically. The book says that you will get imprints, and imprints came. So the proof that Shraddha sahi hua is that the imprint has to come. That means the soul is living. So the book also says how it happens and what all things you have to do. So it has to be done very properly, because the person who did for my mother, he is our family priest. He has been doing it for a long time. His father was doing for my grandfather time and all. And then now he is doing for our father's generation. His son is also getting trained. It's coming from generations. They have been doing it. And we are from very, very high class Brahmin family from Puri. So we are very particular in doing these things. But when you do it properly, then the soul gets the benefit.
Sir, I am Shati. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is...
Like I also have experienced my mother in my dream afterwards. But my mother... that experience was, we have a family Jagannath deity, and that deity was not getting served. My father was going here and there. And then I got in dream and I said to my father, I think you are moving here and there. Mother is coming from different loka and telling me that you are going here and there, and worship of Jagannath is not happening properly. And yes, it was true that my father was going here, and now my father is stationed in Puri and doing the service nicely. So if they communicate also, they will communicate for a purpose. They will not communicate for nothing. So even if they communicate, they will communicate for a purpose. Especially if they have gone to higher lokas, they have power to communicate. If they are staying in this world or they have gone to nether worlds like Yamaloka and all, then they cannot communicate. They don't have power. You are able to understand? If someone is gone to the higher lokas, they have power to communicate with humans.
That is what even after the charge is done properly, if the Atma communicates in a positive way to give a positive message or an indication that you should be doing this, you did not do this.
So then mostly the Atma, if it goes to higher lokas, then they get that power to communicate.
Okay.
Right? But we should tell to the Atma and pray to the Atma that we are taken care nicely here. You be there everywhere, because that's an identity crisis for that person also. Because now he has got a new family. We should not trouble the Atma to come back to the previous family, because it's a painful situation. It's an identity crisis basically.
Sir, I'm Shakti. I have a question to ask. Even after 1 year of death, even after 2 years of death, there are some rituals need to be practiced or observed. What about that? Means, is it really necessary that even after 1 year we call the priest and do certain rituals? I have lost my dad just 1.5 years back. I did it in the last year. So do I need to do the same in the second year anniversary, in the second day's anniversary? How much important they are as well.
Okay, so I will
for
discuss.
The peace of my father's soul.
So I understood what you are telling. So you can show this. So so Shraddha is divided into two parts. One is called the 13-day Shraddha, which we do after the death of a person on the 10th day, Dasaha Shraddha, and then every year we do. Now this 10th day Shraddha, it has a different purpose, and this every year Shraddha is also having a different purpose. Both the purpose are different. So what is the purpose of this Shraddha? To take the soul out and request for the next destination and give the soul Mahaprasad of Vishnu. जो पिंडदान होता है ना, आपने सुना होगा पिंड, कितने लोग सुनते हैं, सुना है पिंड? पिंडदान, So Pindadan is also basically Vishnu Mahaprasad. So give Vishnu Mahaprasad, Pindadan to this soul. So if he gets Mahaprasad, then he will also get some more pious credits. Correct? उसका अप्रारब्ध का संचित कर्म बढ़ जाएगा. तो इससे क्या होता है? उसका संचित कर्म बहुत बढ़ जाता है. उसको जितना आप हो सके उसका संचित कर्म बढ़ा के उसको भेजेंगे. जस्ट लाइक बेटी को विदाई करते हैं ना, कैसे बेटी को जब विदाई करते हैं पिता क्या करता है? जितना हो सके वो जुटा के घर भेजता है कि अरे लेके जाओ, पता नहीं कब मिलेंगे. That time तो there was no communication only. If the girl goes, no WhatsApp, no communication, gone, right? So in that way, the father out of love gives lot of things to the daughter. So exactly in the same way, if our father has passed away, we should think how much I can give lot of sanchit karma to my father because he is going now. So that is called the 13-day Shraddha ka purpose. Now, every year फिर क्यों करते हैं? If we have done 13 days Shraddha nicely, then mostly the soul goes to a place called Pitraloka. The Pitraloka is called a heavenly planet, Swargalok hai. And if all of you have read Einstein theory of time space relativity, स्वर्गलोक में समय धीरे चलता है, पृथ्वी लोक में समय जल्दी चलता है. And the calculation is 1 year in Swarga is 1 day in earth. Okay? So when you do 1 year में Shraddh once in a year, they get credit of staying in Swarga for one day. You're able to understand?
Yes.
And that is how the 1 year Shraddha has come, to give the credits to our ancestors to stay in Pitraloka. Okay, so both have different purpose. And that's how two have come into existence. So now one may say whether it is required or not required, it is up to one's sentiment. But generally, Grihasthas are supposed to perform this every year Shraddha. If someone is a sannyasi, like when I did when my mother passed away, I was not taken saffron. So the pujari said, "Ki what is your plan?" So I said, my father said, "Ki ye to bas पैर निकाल के बैठा हुआ है, कब जाएगा?" So he's just opened up his feet and he's going out. So the pujari understood that, okay, he was knowing beforehand only that I am going to become a sannyasi. So he was knowing. So when he was not knowing when I will take saffron and become a sannyasi like that. So then he said, okay, then if you are going to become sannyasi, you do not have to do the yearly shraddha. Yearly shraddha is for the grihasthas. Because if you are becoming a sannyasi, so whether you do yearly shraddha or not, your mother is going to get the benefits and is really going to go out of the world only to God's abode. So for sannyasis that not required, but for grihasthas we have to do the yearly shraddha. It is best to do. And this yearly shraddha has to be done very simple way. The simple way of doing yearly shraddha is making in your own hand you have to make prasadam for Lord, for Vishnu, and take a plate and feed Mahaprasad to your father who has gone, and that is simple Shraddha ceremony. Okay. Now they have made it elaborate. Isko charity do, usko charity do, ye do, wo do. But Shraddha is very simple according to scriptures. Okay.
अगर वो सोल ने दूसरी बॉडी ले ली है तो फिर हम लोग क्यों करते हैं? मतलब जैसे हम लोग भी पहले हमारे लिए भी अभी कोई कर रहा होगा, मतलब मुझे ये मेरा
हाँ, तो आपका संचित में स्टोर हो रहा है, ऐड हो रहा है आपकी संचित में. आपके लिए कोई कर रहा है तो आपकी संचित में स्टोर हो रहा है. आपकी प्रारब्ध बदलता नहीं है. आपका संचित है ना, संचित 100 है, प्रारब्ध लेट से 60 है और प्रारब्ध 40 है. ठीक है, आप 60 इस जीवन में करेंगे. ये जो 40 है, कोई आपके लिए श्राद्ध किया तो 40-45 हो गया. ये तो हो ही सकता है. आप प्रारब्ध बढ़ता जाता है, संचित बढ़ता जाता है. हाँ, ऐड होता रहता है. Someone is doing some श्राद्ध for me, it is getting added. But I will not experience in this life. ये लाइफ खत्म हो जाएगा, कैलकुलेशंस होगा, बैलेंस शीट बनेगा, फिर देन कितना डिवाइड होगा, क्या होगा, सब डिसाइड होगा. समझ में आ रहा है ना? Okay, even if you have got body, it will get added into your sanchit. Okay, I think there is.
We have been, Prabhuji, since our childhood also that if some some good kind of children born in a particular family, that means suppose he is more inclined towards the God bhakti and all these things, and then we used to tell that even जो पुराने ये हैं मतलब पुराने जो इनके पितर पक्ष हैं या जो भी उनके लिए भी ये मतलब इनके लिए करेगा, पाप के लिए जो पाप किए होंगे उनको भी ये नष्ट कर सकता है.
Correct.
Is it like that?
Yeah, correct. If a very, very pious person borns in our family, if a very, very great soul borns, he will not just even without doing Shraddha, he can deliver the entire family out of all 7 generations. Narsingh Dev says to Prahlad Maharaj को नरसिंह देव बोलते हैं. प्रहलाद महाराज prays to Narsingh Dev that, oh Lord, please deliver my father Hiranyakashipu. He has done so many nonsense. Narsingh Dev says to Prahlad, what to speak of Hiranyakashipu? your 14 generations will get delivered. 7 ऊपर and 7 जो आने वाले थे उनको भी deliverance हो जाएगा. So if a great soul is born in a family, he can कुल उद्धार, कुल दीपक बोलते हैं ना, कुल उद्धार करता है वो. That's true.
And what about the moksha? What about the
Okay, moksha we will discuss in the last session, 8th session of our class. What is moksha? Okay, first let us discuss about karma of this world. Then we can discuss moksha. I hope things are clear. I did little bit mathematics and technical, but I think you all got the point. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Karma Yoga ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.